Do you feel like there are true auteurs in comic books nowadays? And are there more auteurs in comic books as opposed to movies? Like, are there people out there that are really genuinely pushing the envelope in a variety of different ways?
I think that's an interesting question. I think there are, but I also think they've learned where the money is. So we're getting fewer auteurs at Marvel and DC, and if they do work at Marvel and DC, it's like a couple projects. Like I think we're kind of realistically done with like the Jeff Johns and the Brian Michael Bendises, and I'm using those like both extremely positively. Like I think what Jeff Johns did at DC in 2000s is like one of the most impressive runs I've ever seen. I think Brian Michael Bendis being like the center of the Marvel universe from like what 2002 when he jumped on Daredevil through really like I
Mhm.
stopped reading after Avengers vs. X-Men, like after that era. I took a couple years off, but like I know he was still there through Civil War 2, even though I understand that book to be a huge piece of shit from what I've read. Like I just don't know if we're gonna see like runs like that unless someone really wants it. I think the closest we've gotten recently is Joshua Williamson over at DC, and for a while it kind of felt like Philip Kennedy Johnson, but then their Superman run is ending, and now Jason Aaron's taking over. So it's
And
one of those things where it's just
yeah,
like, how long do you want to be in the driver's seat? And I just
Tom
think there's
King. Yeah,
Tom King, sure, but like also Tom King has so many books outside of DC,
yeah,
whereas like in the old days, Helen of Windhorn, that would have been like a Vertigo book, right? Or like
yeah. Yeah, it is a Vertigo book. It's very Vertigo in
yeah,
vibe.
but
Yeah,
it's not though. It's Dark Horse, right?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so like I'm just saying like they're like the lifetime contract, the season tickets that these people used to get. I just
Mhm.
think there's so much more money outside of the big two that we're gonna get outdoors, but it's not gonna be the way it was. Like we're not
So
gonna
is
have
Mhm.
like
is
someone
that the
run on Fantastic
I
Four
know
and
Chad
then
has a point, but
oh please.
is that the Kirkman manifesto where you save your best ideas for when you can get a paycheck for them?